It's now time for Thankful Thursdays, a platform designed for your growth and personal development. Thankful Thursdays is sponsored by Ionia Distributors LLC, where you can get motivational t-shirts and Fionia Salmon's biography. It will be long, but not forever. Now, here's your host, Fionia Salmon.
A warm welcome to viewers on Facebook and YouTube Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we are opening a powerful conversation on men's health, vulnerability, strength, and also self care. Topics that don't always get the spotlight they deserve, especially in male spaces. Joining us is someone who brings a unique blend of professionalism, presence, a passion to this dialect. So let's welcome Garfene Grandison. He is a corporate communication professional, writer, speaker, advocate for men's wellness with years of experience in helping brands shape their voice and messages. Now, using that same power of communication to encourage men to take up space emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And of course, we can't forget his style. Garfield is a well known lover of suits and blazers, proving that how you show up on the outside can reflect who you are in the inside. Garfield, we are honored to have you today on Thankful Thursdays.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, and thank you so much for having
You're
me. It's a
most
pleasure to be here.
welcome. Thank you so much. Let's begin with your journey. How did your background in corporate communication, professionalism, lead you to become a voice for men's health and also emotional wellness?
Honestly, I never even thought about myself being as someone who, is a voice for men's health. For me, it was just me being me. It was me living. It was me authentically so, and me speaking in my truth and what really matters to me. Now, communication is fundamental about bridging gaps and
That's
creating
right.
understanding, whether between an entity and an audience, or a person and another person, right? And so within the corporate space, I learned that some of the most powerful messages are about what you say, but it's
Mhm.
about creating safe spaces, or different spaces where all kinds of conversations can happen. And I recognize that for us, even just based on how we grow up, we're less likely to speak up. We're less likely to
Mhm.
say something is affecting us. And
That's
so
right.
as a result of that, I mean, for me, I use my platform as that. So yes, when I go on my 9 to 5 setting, I talk about corporate communications and communication between my entity and the public. But then when I use my particular my own platform, I talk about a myriad of topics, whatever it is, and how it's affecting us, how we live, how we grow, how we
Mhm.
communicate, what we communicate, the things we do, what we wear, and how that affects me. And I found that over the years, that is something that's really um, people appreciate it, and people kept coming and saying, "Oh, thank you so much for this. Thanks for this reminder." And then I was like, "Oh, okay,
Mhm.
clearly I have a voice. People will listen. People want to hear."
That's true.
And for me, it don't matter if it's even one person come and say, "Boy, Garfield, I like that post, or I like what you said." For me,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
means the world. And so that's one of the reasons why I guess now you can see me to say I'm a voice for
That's right.
um correct men's health and emotional wellness, because that's something I openly talk
Mhm.
about.
You know, Garfine, I watch your Instagram almost every day to see what's next, what's coming. And the thing that I love about you is just the energy that you bring. Like you're not afraid of speaking out loud in different ways of language, whether it's your blazers, your suits, or whatever it is. But how does men, or how do you feel that men needs to live their lives? Because a lot of men, they're affected by that little silent inner
Mhm.
voice.
Yeah. So I've always been an outspoken child ever since I was growing up. And I think what has changed though is that I'm very intentional in how I speak. I'm intentional in how I dress, and I'm intentional in how I communicate. Because at the end of the day, I do think that language shapes reality, and that's spoken and unspoken. No, from a very early age, we're taught that you know, men don't cry and people must man up, and all of these
Mhm.
other invisible barriers that keep us from really seeking the support that we want, or to reach out to someone to say, this is how I'm feeling. And so what has happened is those things, they stay there and they fester and they boil over and
Mhm.
they spill over
That's
into something else that we don't want.
that's true.
So for me, I think that it is it's not something that I want to foster. It's not something that I encourage. And so ever so often, when I get the opportunity, I will tell persons, um, that just be true, speak your feelings. I
Mm.
remember when this kind of resonated with me. It was actually when my father passed a couple years ago. And in that mourning process, I was the only sibling here. So I was moving, doing everything,
Oh.
making things work. And it was not, so I really wasn't grieving. It was not, I think, on the day of his burial when everything was done. I literally just started to bawl. And I didn't understand why. I don't know. Part of it is because I remembered persons telling me along the way, lean into your emotions, just
Mhm.
um, let it all out. And I think at that moment, I literally, sometimes you have a cow balling. Yeah, man, I had a
Yes.
moment of that. And then I
And
released
it
it all.
felt good, right? It
And to be
felt good.
honest, I felt a lot. I felt so good. And so it's in that moment I said, when I want to cry, I'm gonna cry. When I want to laugh, I'm gonna laugh because I think it all serves a purpose. And so for me, I'm a big advocate now. If you want to cry, if you want to
A
show the
shoulder.
softer side, it is what it is. We're all human
That's
beings.
right.
We all have different facets of emotion. It's just how we, I guess, curate it or how we express it that makes a difference. But for me, no, I'm all about persons expressing their interests and their feelings.
Do you think that society has put a great pressure on men to say that men don't cry or men should not cry? Men
That's
should man up.
They do actually. They do. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly. It's not that the men don't cry. You see that
Mm-hmm.
part where they say men should not cry. I think that's where I have an issue, because I
Mm-hmm.
think, as I said before, you're letting young boys know that, hey, this is not the norm for a man. So whenever I feel that emotion, they take it and they put it aside. Either
Mm-hmm.
they ignore it or they channel it
Mm-hmm.
in a different way, and then that becomes problematic. Whereas if the persons are just if you just allow people to be who they truly are,
Mm.
then I think we'll have a better society. I think we'll have better emotionally stable
Health.
adults um,
Mm.
that can
Word.
correct. They can just they
Word.
contribute to life.
Yeah.
Um, so sometimes I think, honestly, society needs to ease up a little bit
Mm-hmm.
on us males, and just allow us to live, because I think at the end of the day, with the proper guidance, with the proper communication skills and people around you,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be on the right path.
What does vulnerability looks like for you, and what you think men um should aim at in being vulnerable?
um so I'm gonna kind of pull that apart a little bit, twofold.
Yes, sure.
So for
Mm-hmm.
me, in a corporate setting, for example, vulnerability is uh, vulnerability looks like this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have all the answers. I don't know what I'm doing. I am leaning on you to help, to guide, because I'm not the expertise in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what I recognize is that a lot of the times, not only in the corporate setting, but just in spaces in general, we don't admit to our weaknesses. We don't admit that we need help.
That's
And I think
right.
for me, that's the area of vulnerability that honestly I have come a very long way in working on, because if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you I don't know something.
Wow.
But the difference is I am willing to learn, right? Um, that's from the corporate perspective. From the
Mm-hmm.
relationship perspective, no, and this is where I know a lot of us struggle. It's learning to say, um, I'm struggling. Learning to say I'm
Mm-hmm.
not okay. Learning to say this is how you can help me. Learning to
Mm-hmm.
say, can you help me to be XYZ? So
Wow.
so so those are some of the things I think that we need to relearn, so that we can have transformative moments, so that we can allow ourselves
Mm-hmm.
whether it is to grieve, to grow, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. Because what I find is that vulnerability, and I say this to people all the time, when my father passed in that moment and I didn't know how to deal with it and I was struggling, I leaned in on my vulnerability, because in that moment I realized it wasn't an absence of strength.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make me any less of a man. Um, but what it does is showed me that it's vulnerability is strength with purpose, strength with a open
Mm-hmm.
heart, strength with
Mm-hmm.
authenticity. And so from that moment, I've kept leaning in on that. I lean in on my vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
But with that is how who do I
Oh.
allow access to those vulnerabilities? It's a whole different kettle of
Oh.
fish right there. But it's
Mm-hmm.
something that is a work in progress that I have to work through every single day.
You mentioned that your father passed away. What age did your father pass away?
Well, he passed away at 68, and I
Mhm.
was, well, Lord, the age me now,
Oh, me
it
now
was,
want age you. Just
it
give me
was
a round number.
it was 3 years ago,
In
so
your
it was about
teens, right? In your
ab-
teens. In your teens?
no,
Okay.
about
Okay.
3 years ago. So when I was about
Oh, okay.
35, 34. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So your father passed away, allow you to let your guard down a little bit and be that man. So that's where you got your strength from.
Yeah, I think that brought me into my strength. Yes, I think before that I
Mm.
was learning through relationships and through friendships.
Mhm.
But I think in that moment when my dad passed, it really brought it front
Full.
and center to me.
Mhm.
And I started to embrace it and practice it a lot more.
Wow, it's a lot to unpack, Garfene. And by the way, before we go to a break, I want to ask you, where did you get that nice name from, Garfene?
Garfield. Well, that nice name came from my lovely parents who did not. I guess they saw something unique in me when I was born, so they did
Is
not
it
want it.
merch?
They
Is
did
it
no,
a
no, no.
merger
It's
of
not.
names?
It's
No?
not. It's not. They
Oh,
just
wow.
didn't want me to be Garfield, and so mommy just said Garfield sounds different. It sounds unique. It sounds like my son, and so
Oh, oh my God. That's a very different name. I've never heard a name
yes,
like that. Not even
yes.
close.
Correct. I haven't met another Garfield yet. I
No.
on the lookout, but I still haven't yet to find one.
Well, I haven't met a Fiona yet. A lot of people think that my name is Fiona, but it's
Oh,
not Fiona. It's two I's. Fionia.
right,
Fionia.
right. But that's right. Very. I saw that. I recognized it when I saw that. But you have some unique names where the I silent, but it's not. So Fiona, right?
Peonia. And on that note, Garfield, men out there, it's okay to say that you're not okay. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. You're tuning in to Thankful Thursdays. I am your host, Peonia Salmon, and today we are opening a powerful conversation on men's health. Garfield Grandson is here to talk about vulnerability, strength, self care of a real man, or men out there, not really of a real man, but men out there, topics that don't always get the spotlight that they really deserve. But men, today is your day. So Thankful Thursdays is sponsored by Ionia Distributors LLC, the company that distributes my stainless steel barware sets. That's right here. My motivational items, my bag, my tote, my t-shirt, and also my book. Go ahead and get a copy of my book. It will be long, but not forever. They are all available on Amazon. And coming soon, I will be announcing my website. So stay tuned for that, where you can pick up all your goodies in one place. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's Fionia and Friends. And if you already subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Continue to spread my content wide and far. And if you get to this link in this video, what are you waiting on to subscribe? Just go ahead, touch that subscribe button. So thank you so much. Let's keep the conversation going. Garfene, let's talk about style. You're known for your blazers, your suit. What does fashion mean to you when it comes on to self-expression and having that confidence? Because I'm looking at your social media and man, you have suits in all different colors. I was like, you're not afraid to wear colors, and some men are afraid of wearing bright colors or whatever, but that tells that there is confidence in you. So tell us.
I'm gonna admit, I usually shy away from colors, to be very honest. My go-to colors are usually um, navy blue, black for sure,
Mm-hmm.
uh, olive green lately, and brown. So
Oh,
those are the hues that I generally go in between. As of late, I there's a store that I shop at, Statement Pieces by Chris, where the ladies in there often, and even Chris himself, they encourage me to wear a little color from time to time. And so they push me to do it once, and people are like, "Oh my God, that's a great color!" Da, 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 da. And it
yeah.
was a frenzy. And then I'm like, "Oh, that color suits you." It's like every time I wear a different color, people's like, "Oh, that's your color." So I started to experiment more and put more color into my wardrobe. And then this summer, I definitely said, "Listen, color season." And
Mm-hmm.
and so for me, that's where it started. But true, authentically, Garfield is black and white, to be very honest.
Oh
But I'm
wow.
learning to embrace a lot more colors in my life, because at the end of the day, fashion is a powerful tool that's used for
Yes.
self-expression,
Oh
and it helps
yes.
to communicate your personalities without saying anything. There's a
Mm-hmm.
thing, sometimes when I have presentations, I normally say to person that um, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
That's right.
and and that's what fashion does. Whenever you put on a particular suit, a particular color, you walk in a room, people
Mm-hmm.
form an opinion of you within the first 5 to 10 seconds of
Oh,
seeing you.
word.
So you need
Word.
to look the part. Another thing that I always tell people is that ever since I started going into corporate, before in corporate, in media, I used to say I dress for the job that I want, not for the job I have. So from ever since, Garfield used to be a boy, I wear my suits, I wear my blazer, even when I could not afford it. I made the concerted effort that I'm always well dressed. I thank my father for that, because I think I got it from him. And I think I recently actually learned, because it made me feel strong, it made me feel confident, it made me feel powerful,
Mm.
it made me feel smart, it made me feel more than I am, because always thought that I am more than I am right now. And so what that did, I recently recognized that this is actually there's a phrase for it. It's called unclothed cognition. I did not even know that. So for me, I was just simply dressing for whatever I wanted, how I wanted people to
Mm-hmm.
treat me, not knowing that there's actually a whole study on it, and what it does for your mental health, and that sort of thing. So for me, when I put on a blazer, I'm not just getting dressed up. I'm preparing to show up as my most intentional and authentic self.
Wow, wow, wow. I remember years ago when I worked for a popular airline. Well, jet blue. And they always said to us, make sure you dress for the role that you want, your next role.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you always dress like, okay, I'm a CEO. That's what you're
Correct.
going to dress like.
Correct, and that's me. That's the notion I've always taken on. I remember in one of my other corporate jobs when somebody literally said to me, because I still always guy in blazers, and somebody
Mhm.
said to me, "You're gonna run out of blazers soon. Watch, and you're gonna dress normal like t-shirt and jeans like everybody else." To this day, I have never run out of a blazer,
But
and
do
I've
you
lived
repeat
that.
them?
Yes, I do repeat them. I trust me. I believe in repeating your clothes. But a lot of people don't seem to think I repeat it, but I do. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's how you style it. Sometimes you go with jeans, sometimes you go with slacks, sometimes you go with chinos. It varies. But I say that to say that for me, I have always thought that dressing is a way
Mhm.
of honoring myself and how I present myself, which is an act of self-respect and self-care. And if nobody is going to respect me
Mm,
until I respect myself. So
that's right.
yeah.
That's right. But let's talk about the other areas of grooming. The nails, the face. Y- I love to see a man with good nails, clean, nice, cleaned up nails. I mean, just talk about the entire grooming.
That is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that thankfully I learned when I was in high school. My sister kind of encouraged or ingrained that in me. And so I was going to get manicures and pedicures before I even knew what it was. Because I understood, I think, at the point what it represented. So I'm still struggling with this where facials and stuff are concerned, but I do recognize also that there is a need for it. There's a need for self-care. So I
Mm-hmm.
will purchase the things and I will do it, albeit sometimes very short. Um, but there are other things for me that I don't compromise on. So I don't compromise on my sense of style in terms of clothes. I don't compromise on my haircuts. I do that every single week. I
Mm-hmm.
go and get a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't compromise on my nails um, because I just think those are things, again, it's a part of how you present yourself. It's a part of what people
Mm-hmm.
see. And
Mm-hmm.
so that leaves an impression. And so for me, whenever you see me, I should always be nice young man. I should always be,
Mm-hmm.
even when I'm in t-shirt and jeans and just
You just look clean, right?
it's a-
Just look
just look clean.
clean. Just
Correct.
look clean.
Correct.
Yeah,
Because clean and dressed, it doesn't have to be a suit all the time.
that's
Simple is
true.
sometimes very good, but again, it's because of what it does to someone, the
Mm-hmm.
aura that it presents. Where I
Oh,
can be very casual and people say, "Oh, you dressed up so today,"
and you be
but
like,
I'm really
weird.
not. Correct. Correct. Simply because of how I carry myself. And I'm a big believer in that.
Oh my God. So do you think that there is a connection between how a man present himself physically? It's what actually he's internalizing.
Correct. As I said, there's a whole study on it called enclosed cognition. So
Mm-hmm.
and the studies have shown that how people um, think about themselves, how they behave, how they perceive,
Mm-hmm.
has a direct correlation with how they dress. Sometimes maybe even the color scheme. Sometimes even the types of shoes and that type of thing. And so it's a symbolic meaning that is influenced by fashion and it impacts our mental state. So I do think so. For example, like getting dressed in the morning. There's sometimes when I go to work and people would see me and they're just like, "You're not having a good day, are you?" Or people
Mm-hmm.
look at me and like, "Oh my God, where you got today?" And honestly, it's on those days when I think maybe I'm a little bit different. When I am maybe on my lowest, that's when I
Mm-hmm.
actually dress up because I need to pull myself
Pull
out.
yourself up. Wow.
And so people always to come and say, "Oh, yeah, go to the man."
No,
Nowhere, just coming to work. And
it
so
lifts the
for
spirit,
me,
right?
yeah. So for me, it affects my mental space. So from that point of view, and then now from what I was reading before, seeing that it's an actual concept, then it does have a correlation. And if more persons or more men, I think, are encouraged to do it and be authentically themselves, then we have a much better
Mm,
society, I feel.
Let's be real for a minute. Are there barriers that stop men from prioritizing their health, especially in the Caribbean?
Are there barriers? Yes and no. Yes, there are barriers.
Mm,
Work, work is sometimes a barrier. There's a notion that also that you know, we don't like doctor. We're not gonna go to doctor. Even
mm,
when it comes down to emotional or mental health, oh, me no want psychiatrists or for mad people. Sometimes
mm-hmm,
those things are what hold us back. And I think if we should get out of those mindset, then we actually break the cycle that a lot of us are going through. And I think what we need to do is we need to redefine masculinity to include stuff like emotional intelligence,
mm-hmm,
interdependence, and mental health
mm-hmm.
awareness, because those are some of the things that these barriers that I referred to earlier are stopping us from going into those spaces.
Keisha in the comments says, great interview. Thank you so much, Keisha. Thank you. She's
Thank you,
saying
Keisha.
something else. I can't see. But what roles do you think that women needs to play in creating that safer emotional spaces for men to express themselves or be more vulnerable? How do you think we as women can help?
Um, I think women can help by celebrating emotional expression more rather than just emotional strength. Because again, we come from a Caribbean society where
Mm-hmm.
we say things like um, men shouldn't show emotions and those type of things, and that can be
Mm-hmm.
a little. It can be. It can prevent someone from fully coming into their own. So I think if could change that narrative a little bit in terms of saying from emotional strength, emotional expression, then I think that's a barrier that we could change. I also think that if women are a little bit more open to the fact that the spectrum when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to emotion is very different. So it varies. There's a lot of different facets to it, and it's not a clear cut, men are this, women are this. And I think if
Mm-hmm.
that notion is not changed, not only by women, but society in general, if that can be changed to kind of encapsulate the entire gamut or the entire spectrum, then I think would be a little bit more, men can be a little bit more open in what it is they want to say, how they say it, and that sort of thing. And I think from that perspective, we'll be able to open up the conversation around mental health a
Mm-hmm.
lot more, because
Yes.
people will be more, or men in general, will be more open and relaxed in saying how they feel,
Mm-hmm.
what this means, or you did something earlier. And what I recognize happens in a lot of even friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody does something to you and you don't want to speak up because you're afraid of the repercussion or you're afraid
Oh.
of how they might take it. When in truth and in fact, you're probably coming from a space of you just want clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, at the end of the day, how a message is communicated is not always how a message is received. So even just for that clarification, people come from a space of why you ask me that for, or it's very what's the word, aggressive. And I think if even in friendships and in those nuances
Mm-hmm.
are changed, then I
Mm-hmm.
think again people will be more receptive in how
Sure.
they approach it. Yeah.
That's so right. That's so right. You're tuned into Thankful Thursday. I am your host, Peonia Salmon, and today we're opening a powerful conversation on men's health with Garfene, and talking about vulnerability, strength, and also self care of men. So, Thankful Thursday is sponsored by Ionia Distributors LLC, the company that distributes my stainless steel barware sets, my t shirt that I'm wearing, and also I have all different colors right behind me. And also, don't forget my signature ones, the black ones that I started out with. Thank you so much for all my lovely supporters. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And yes, I'm still going to get to the list of people who want the yellow ones. I'm getting to you, but a girl kind of busy. But I'll get to you shortly and mail them out to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for sharing my content. Thank you for liking my photos wherever you scroll. Thank you so much for the support. So let's get back into the video or into the interview. If you could, if you could leave one message right now with men about healing, about showing up, about letting go of the mask or the pressure that society placed on them, what would you say to them?
Um, Very interesting question. I would say to them, your feelings are valid. Your feelings don't make you any less of a man. As a matter of fact, I think they make us human. If it is, and sometimes it's okay to wear masks because I do believe that there's a time and place. Sometimes we don't know how to process our feelings. So it's best to sometimes put on a mask, process, and then come again. But if that mask that you're wearing to protect yourself isn't serving you, but is keeping you from connecting not only with yourself, but for connecting with others, is preventing you from getting happy or having joy, then I think it's time to consider kind of removing that mask or reconsider how it is that we express what it is and how long behind that mask. Because they're healing. Healing isn't about you. Healing is about the persons that we have around us. Healing is about the breaking of cycles so that we can be better men, we can be better fathers, we can be better friends, we can be better citizens. And in that, it makes it so much better for the generations that are going to be coming after us, because at the end of the day, it is a ripple effect. People are looking, people are learning, and they're using us as an example. So
right.
It's all good and well. We see what our fathers and grandfathers were going through, so we should take from them, better ourselves, and then make better for those who are coming after us. So that's my message that I would leave with
That's
everybody.
right. That's right. That's very, very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And do you have anything going on right now that you want to talk about? Like, are you working on any projects or any upcoming events that you want to talk about?
Me right now, I am all. It's summertime, so I'm all diving into the corporate mode. I'm general manager at the JWN Foundation. So right now we're all about scholarships. We're all about philanthropy. We're all about back to school. And those are we're celebrating 200 years as a corporation. So a lot of my focus now, a lot of my events are within the corporate realm and the foundation realm. But it is a space where I thrive. It's a space where I enjoy. I enjoy taking off the corporate hat and then putting on that philanthropic part of me, where I can go within these disenfranchised communities that we operate in, and we listen to people, we give back. So that's where you find me most of the time when I'm not in the corporate space. I'm
Dressed up.
in some other correct. When I'm not at a corporate event, I'm in the communities, and when I'm not doing that, I am simply Garfene on Instagram, living out loud, enjoying our beautiful country that I'm a advocate for, I'm an ambassador for, nothing nice like Jamaica. So
Hey.
yeah, that's where I'll be.
And finally, how can our audience still stay connected with you? How can they find you on social media?
Yes.
Um,
You see, the good thing about me and
mhm,
what my mother did, she
mhm.
gave me that name Garfene. So you can find me on all socials at
Oh,
Garfene. You name it, Garfene. That's the handle. From Instagram to Facebook to Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. Just plain old Garfene.
But quick question, do you do like public speak not public, like motivational talks, or in your spare time or what?
See, when I am, and a lot of people won't believe this, but I am not an extrovert. I am
Oh,
very introverted, but
it doesn't show.
I'm an ambivert. So I am extroverted when I need to be for work and that sort of thing. Outside of that, I don't like public speaking. I don't like doing things like this. But again, I recognize when there's a need and I will step up to the plate. So because of that, and because I know my best friend Terry Carell will kill me if I shy away from any of these opportunities,
Yes.
I do them from time to time using going to different places, using myself as an example, depending on what the topic is. But
Mhm.
yes, I do step into that space from time to time.
Awesome. You could not tell me that you're not outgoing. I mean, just watching you, it just seems like you're out there, like, here am I, like
Most people believe that, but it's when you meet me, it's very different. I'm always very quiet, very reserved, always
reserved.
at the
Oh,
back of the room.
wow.
Yeah, man, always at the back of the room.
I want to say, Garfine, thank you so much for sharing and being vulnerable. And also, just as you mentioned, you're not an extrovert, but you know, accepting to be a guest on my podcast recently started. And I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity for being here and being a part of my growth. And I'm looking forward in having you back on the show. I'm not sure about what we're going to talk about, but guess what? I know that our audience is going to request you back. I know that for
Thank
sure.
you.
Yes, and you're most welcome. And the video that I'm about to share really close to my heart. It's my roofing project at Ferguson Primary and Infant School. I've launched a GoFundMe campaign to support this initiative, and I'm asking you, please go ahead and support me. Go ahead and watch this video. July 2024, Hurricane Beryl swept across Jamaica, causing widespread destruction, and our beloved Ferguson Primary and Infant School in French Park, Manchester, Jamaica, was not spared. One of the hardest hit areas of the school was the Guidance Counselor's Building. The roof was completely torn off, leaving the building unsafe, unusable. What was once a safe, supportive space for our students are now exposed. The Guidance Counselor's Building is more than just a room. It's where our children receive emotional support, conflict resolution, and a listening ear during tough times. It's a vital part of our school, a place where healing happens. Without this space, our students, especially those facing emotional or behavioral challenges, have lost their safe haven. We're calling on kind-hearted donors, alumni, community leaders and members, and friends across the world to help us raise $20,000 to rebuild the roof and restore this critical space by December 2025. If we reach the goal early, we will close the campaign and start building immediately. Transparency is our top priority. Every dollar will be used for the rebuild, and we will share all spending with our supporters. Your contribution will cover roofing materials, skilled labor, contractor fees, storm proofing, waterproofing, minor interior restoration from water damage, building permits, and safety inspections. Full accountability is guaranteed. We'll provide photos, updates, receipts throughout the process, and also heartfelt messages from the students and staff. In a rural community like French Park, rebuilding isn't always quick or easy, but with your help, it's possible. Our children deserve a safe space to express their fears, dreams, and challenges. Let's not let Hurricane Beryl take that away. Donate any amount. No contribution is too small. Share the campaign on social media, WhatsApp, email, word of mouth. Encourage others to support this urgent need. Your support will help us rebuild not just a roof, but a lifeline for the children of Ferguson Primary and Infant School. From all of us at Ferguson Primary and Infant School in the heart of French Park, Manchester, Jamaica, thank you for helping us recover from the storm. Thank you for giving our students hope, healing, a safe space once again. Together we rise. Together we rebuild. Help us restore what Hurricane Beryl tried to take away. Please go ahead, click on the link attached, or go to GoFundMe, type Ferguson Rebuild Campaign. Bye. Yes, so thank you, Garfene, for being here, and also, as I said earlier, to open up and allow us to have this honest conversation. Thank you also for reminding men that it's okay to say that they're not okay. And it's also okay to slow down. And it's okay to take care of your mind, your body, your heart. So thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much
thank
for
you for
having
being
me.
here.
It's my pleasure.
You're most welcome. And to everyone else that is listening, watching, thank you so much for being a part of this discussion. Please go ahead and share this video with your friends, your family, and everyone. And until then, I'll see you in the next 2 weeks. And don't forget, not just take care of yourself, or not just take care of others, but take care of yourself. I am Fiona Salmon. I'll see you in another 2 weeks. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Thankful Thursdays with Fionia Salmon. Thankful Thursdays airs every second and fourth Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. in Jamaica, and it's sponsored by Ionia Distributors LLC. Follow Fionia Salmon on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for info on future episodes and more.